Join me as I take on the challenge of transforming from a social loafer to a social superstar in just 1 week. Social loafing. It's a phenomenon that's all too familiar to many of us. When we're part of a team, we might find ourselves relying on others to do the heavy lifting, while we coast along, doing the bare minimum. But what's the real impact of social loafing on teamwork and productivity? The truth is, it's a productivity killer. When we don't pull our weight, it creates a ripple effect, leading to frustration, resentment, and ultimately, failed projects. When we're part of a group project, social loafing can manifest in many ways. Maybe someone doesn't show up to meetings, or they're consistently late with their tasks. Perhaps they just don't bother to contribute to discussions or brainstorming sessions. Whatever the case, social loafing creates an unfair distribution of workload, where some team members are left shouldering the bulk of the responsibility. This not only leads to burnout, but also undermines the overall success of the project. Moreover, social loafing can create a toxic team culture, where people feel undervalued, unappreciated, and demotivated. It's not uncommon for team members to start questioning their own efforts, wondering why they're bothering to try so hard when others are getting away with doing so little. As a result, the entire team's morale takes a hit, and productivity plummets. In extreme cases, social loafing can even lead to team members abandoning the project altogether, citing lack of trust and cooperation. The consequences are far-reaching, and it's essential we address this issue head-on. So what drives social loafing? Is it laziness, lack of motivation, or something deeper? Research suggests that social loafing is often a result of diffused responsibility, where individuals feel less accountable for their actions when they're part of a group. When we're not directly accountable for the outcome, we're more likely to slack off, assuming someone else will pick up the slack. Additionally, social loafing can be a coping mechanism for fear of failure, fear of rejection, or fear of being overwhelmed. In some cases, it might be a result of poor communication, unclear expectations, or inadequate task allocation. Whatever the reason, social loafing is often a subtle behavior, making it challenging to identify and address. Take, for instance, the classic example of a group project in college, where one person does all the work while the others simply tag along for the ride. It's easy to spot the social loafer in this scenario, but what about more subtle cases, where someone is contributing just enough to avoid detection while still not pulling their weight? These are the instances that can be particularly damaging, as they often go unnoticed until it's too late. Real-life examples of social loafing are all around us. Think of a colleague who consistently shows up late to meetings, or a team member who's always busy when it's time to volunteer for tasks. Maybe it's a friend who always seems to find excuses to avoid contributing to group projects. Whatever the scenario, social loafing can have a profound impact on our personal and professional relationships. It's essential we develop strategies to identify and combat social loafing, not just to boost productivity, but to foster a culture of accountability, trust, and cooperation. So how can we avoid being social loafers and promote a culture of active participation instead? One effective strategy is to establish clear goals, roles, and expectations from the outset. When everyone knows what's expected of them, they're more likely to take ownership of their tasks and contribute to the team's success. Another approach is to encourage open communication, where team members feel comfortable sharing their concerns, ideas, and feedback. By doing so, we can identify potential social loafers and address the issue before it becomes a problem. Additionally, regular check-ins and progress updates can help keep everyone on track, ensuring that no one falls behind or slacks off. Finally, recognizing and rewarding individual contributions can go a long way in motivating team members to take an active role in the project. In conclusion, social loafing is a pervasive issue that can have far-reaching consequences for teamwork and productivity. By understanding the psychology behind social loafing and implementing effective strategies to combat it, we can create a culture of accountability, trust, and cooperation. Remember, when we work together, we can achieve great things, but only if we're all pulling in the same direction. Thanks for watching, and I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever experienced social loafing in a team project? Share your stories in the comments below, and don't forget to check out my other videos on teamwork strategies.